Thank you. I don't know how to follow that and the children that were up. That was absolutely amazing. So thank you very much for inviting me to here today. It's great to be with you and to be able to share the views on parents on such an important topic. Probably worth saying who Parentkind are first. We believe passionately in the link between home and school. And how when we get the link right, it can make a huge difference for children, families and school communities. We are also the largest network of PTAs across England, Wales and Northern Ireland, with over 13,000 members. And we regularly poll parents across England, Wales and Northern Ireland so that we can gather opinions and hear their voices so that we can represent parent voices in policy debates. I think the first thing that I want to say is I want to start with quite an eye-watering statistic. In January of this year, we went out to parents, like we do regularly, and asked for their opinions on exams and assessment. Of the respondents, over 86% of parents said they believed that after COVID-19, we must find a new way to assess the performance of our young people. That's an overwhelming majority of parents calling for reform. And it isn't me or some policy geek making the point. It's parents who will be coaching their children through exams this summer. So if we're asking why change is needed now, I'd say it's because parents are calling for it now. When it comes to what needs to change and what's wrong, I think we need to flip that around and ask ourselves actually what is right and how can we build on it. From our work at Parentkind, we know there are lots of things that are going well. Parents are increasingly involved in their child's education. Last year, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 0 not being involved at all, 10 being extremely involved, the mean score of parental engagement was 7. That's lots of parents actively taking part and working with their schools. What's more, parents are overwhelmingly supportive of their child's school. 80% of parents said their child was happy at school, and a similar number felt that the school met their child's needs. All of that is good news and reflects the hard work of our teachers and educators across the country, especially in the last 2 years. However, parents also believe that education must be more than just exams. COVID has really let the genie out of the lamp when it comes to assessment, in that parents and children were able to see that while exams didn't take place, the world didn't stop turning. Of course, the pressure was loaded onto teachers with teacher-assessed grades, and that was huge. If I suggested that that should happen every year, I might be chased from the building, and understandably so. But we must use this opportunity when we all realise that things can be done differently to take that chance and have open minds about new ways of doing things. I think another point that I'd like to make is from our annual parent survey, one of the things that I think is important to realise within assessment is the impact of mental health and well-being that it has on children and how parents feel about that. Our annual parent survey consistently for the last 7 years has shown us that parents are increasingly worried about their child's mental health and well-being. And top of the list of that is exam stress, and has been exam stress for the last 7 years. The first step that I believe in making change is an open and honest conversation about what education is for and how assessment measures that. And that's why such commissions like Rethinking Assessment and others that Parentkind are part of are essential. Our annual parent survey also found that when asked what education should be for but at the top of parents' lists are things like critical thinking, problem solving, and how to work as a team, transferable skills that will be useful outside of school. Parents want their children to have life skills and allow them to become a responsible and productive adult. If we have that in mind and consider the assessment regime, I'd be hard to push to say that assessment measures those things adequately. The thing is, if we always do what we've always done, we'll always get the same results. So at Parentkind, we think this once-in-a-generation chance needs to be grabbed with both hands. A conversation needs to take place when everybody can have their say, and that includes parents. This has to include also teachers' unions, the Department of Education, Lee, and as I said, most importantly, parents. Alongside that, we believe that all parents should be supported to be properly and positively involved in their child's education. All of the research by Parentkind and others shows huge benefits when we bring home and school together. For the school leaders here, I'd highlight our blueprint for parent-friendly schools. This is the blueprint provides 5 key drivers and best practice how every school can implement great parental participation and get parents more involved in their child's education in order to benefit the outcomes. The key thing I'll leave you with is that I want you all to be part of a wider conversation on assessment. It doesn't need to be a negative one, and it doesn't need to be about tearing things up and starting from scratch. But if we work together, listen to each other and listen to parents as part of that, the solution, we can find a way forward that measures how young people are growing and thriving and better reflects the brilliant work being done in schools. Thank you.